Hey Crushers, Young here, bringing you a new Crush Them All video, sponsored by Godsey Lab. Today's video is going to be an informational video where we cover the Halloween update and patch notes. As a reminder, my personal Discord server is open to the public. The link is in the description below this video. We're going to start by looking over the Google Doc notes and reviewing the patch notes. I've linked the Google Doc note in the description below this video, so be sure to check that out if you'd like to read it yourself. This video isn't going to be as exciting as most of our other videos, as this is primarily informational. Hopefully you do enjoy this video, and if you do, be sure to click the like button so I can tell that, and that'll help me decide if I'll do this type of thing again in the future. Now starting from the top, we have a new Slate Boss event, Twinface. Twinface is the first boss with dual elements. It is a light and dark boss, switching back and forth alternating modes. The Google Doc says the following: Twinface will deal and receive elemental damage depending on which side is facing the heroes. Twinface will definitely be a challenging experience. You will have to decide how and when to defend and deal damage by timing your ultimates to benefit from the strongest element against the current face. Twinface has a few weaknesses. He is weak to rangers, samurai, and brawlers. Now, what does this mean? It means that instead of just passively using ultimates, paying close attention to the face requires a more proactive and hands-on approach for survival and damage to this new boss. So we should see some mix-up from there. Which now brings us to Seraph, the sixth and newest Crusher. Seraph is the first dual elemental hero in the game, and this offers some exciting prospects for how the mechanics will work with future dual element heroes. The next video we do is going to be covering Seraph in depth during her raid event, so if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, you should go ahead and do that. That way you can catch that video when it comes out, as well as my other videos, and stay up to date on all the latest Crush Them All news and information. Now, Seraph is a light hero who can deal dark damage to light heroes if they're her target, meaning for Twinface she'll be dealing damage at ×2 regardless of which side is facing her. The Google Doc does say the following: Seraph is an offensive ranger that will buff all rangers in the team at 4 stars and receive buffs, and both buffs and auras from auras and artifacts. Wow, I'm getting all tongue-tied here. She'll receive both dark and light buffs from auras and artifacts. Harnessing the power of light and dark, Seraph will not receive any bonus elemental damage. The last bit means that she will not take the ×2 damage from dark attacks. For PvP, this typically won't matter because if she's being targeted directly, it likely means that you've already lost. For boss raid events, however, this is pretty substantial since she's a damage dealer crusher, and this contributes to better survivability for her. Now, as exciting as Seraph is, getting medals for her means a new Crusher chest, and her chest is stacked. Alda, Kage, Dark Hunter, Arcana, and Nico. This chest is great for new players and older players alike. Alda being one of the crit sisters, offers a lot of DPS capabilities, increasing crit damage of all your other heroes. Kage offering his HP debuff, Dark Hunter offering his enemy attack reduction. Arcana, who buffs critical damage of light heroes, which benefits Seraph, and Nico, who buffs dark hero move speed. Now, as mentioned here in the Google Doc, you'll be able to farm Seraph medals from light dungeons once you have her unlocked. Oops, a bit too far there. This next section addresses 3 new event artifacts. These 3 artifacts give shards and rune dust daily, with the 3rd offering increased expedition material rewards. Even at level 1, these are going to be valuable artifacts that everyone should be considering and making room for. Personally, I'll be purchasing additional event artifact slots to have these artifacts. This couples nicely with the 3 new event artifact slots available, meaning you can now own even more event artifacts. This brings us from 17 all the way up to 20. Guild raid events now give star shards as rewards based on how high your guild cleared. The amount that you earn is 4 times the boss level, so if you cleared the level 50 boss, then your guild would earn 200 additional star shards for that. It is a nice way to tie some PvE importance for PvP aspects of the game, and this is a good addition in my opinion. I'd like to see more incentives to participate in PvE modes, and I feel like this is a step in the right direction towards that. I've made some suggestions on the official Discord reflecting my desire for better PvE elements, and if that's something you'd be interested in as well, then you should hop on over to the official Discord, which you can access through the settings of the game in the community section. The next part of the update condenses guild mail quite considerably. Now mini boss rewards are tied into the main boss mail. This results in much less mail going out during guild raid events, and is especially helpful for European players on account of the time zone issues and waking up to maxed mail. Now this can result in missing rewards from kills and other sources, so being able to condense the amount of mail that you're going to have in your inbox is pretty substantial to getting, more rewards overall. Now, because of how the rewards go out with this change, it could result in missing out on some mini-boss rewards if you let the boss expire, but this is fundamentally better and the loss is negligible. I think this is a great quality of life improvement to the game in general, and I'm glad that this was implemented. The next change is a new common pacifier. This is going to be a cheaper variant of the current pacifier that can only be used on common heroes. We don't know the pricing yet, but it should be a positive change to help correct early game mistakes. The existing pacifier can no longer be used on common heroes and can only be used on rare, epic, and legendary heroes. This is a change that I feel will be better and help people in making better decisions with their shard management. Hopefully this will also mean more frequent pacifier appearances in the shop as well. The next change in this update is in regards to the removal of the Beat Your Max Stage daily challenge, and let's face it, it was terrible. At best, it encouraged bad staging practices and typically meant missing out on rewards in some capacity. It has instead been replaced with Beat X stages, which could be a varying amount, but is typically very achievable and can be completed through multiple ascensions with the help of princess streams. And listen, honestly, this may be one of my absolute favorite things about this update. I hated that daily challenge. I'd happily take beat 30,000 stages over that, though fortunately it doesn't go that high. At most it will be, I think, ×2 whatever your current max stage is. This was a quality of life change that should benefit basically everyone, so I'm excited to see that. Now for heavy spenders in the community, there is now a VIP 10, which comes with a lot of perks, including the VIP 10 exclusive Ornock skin. This isn't a skin most people are going to have on the cheap end. You'd have to spend in the ballpark range of $20,000 USD to get it. It is a status symbol skin and a good way to acknowledge those who have financially contributed heavily within the community. VIP 10 also has 100% ad skip, so no more ads whatsoever for that VIP level. Whoops, went too far again. Come on. This is being a little finicky. Okay. Next up in the changes are some balance changes to tournaments to make them more fair, and more frequent syncing of the game, which should prevent as much desyncing and in-game time being off. And honestly, the more frequent syncing should contribute to more fluid data through many parts of the game and not just tournaments. So this is a positive change for everyone as well. Next up are some balance changes to Manta. The Google Doc says 3 changes will improve Manta's performance in PvP. Manta's 2-star ability now starts at the center of the 2-star visual effect instead of her position. To counterbalance this change, her AoE is now 350 instead of 500. This fix allows you to buff her range without negatively impacting her area of effect. Her 2-star ability now hits flying units. and her aura reduces Frost Queen's freeze explosion damage as well as Thorn's 2-star poison damage. Now, does that make her good? Well, truthfully, it's hard to say. Um, I've not experienced Manta in Arena, and only a little in Blitz, and I haven't been overly impressed from what I have encountered. But this could also just be from lack of exposure. I'll update you guys in a future video what I think of Manta once I'm able to get a better opinion of her. Hopefully these changes are impactful enough to increase her usage rates that I'll be able to update you guys on my opinion of her sooner. It is worth noting that these changes made do make her potentially viable within a freeze explode team, whereas before she was not a good fit within that type of team composition. So maybe we'll see more usage from her on account of that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, for final things in this update, there is now a new Tier 7 artifact stone for maxing a 7-star artifact. This was incorrectly giving out the Tier 6 artifact stone prior to the update, so I'm glad to see that that's been fixed. That will be more relevant when we eventually get 8-star artifacts added to the game. Let's see, certain effects applied during battle now stack, so attack up and down, speed up, and critical damage up. So those all stack now, and that's good. I think they should have stacked all along. Increased the number of simultaneous help requests from 10 to 15. What this one means is that normally if your guild starts requesting medals but waiting on filling request for a guild quest or whatever other reason, then the most request you could have up would be 10. If someone made an 11th request, it would delete whatever request was at slot 1, and now that cap has been increased from 10 to 15. This doesn't impact most players or guilds, but it's a positive change and good to see that that's been addressed. And then finally, as previously mentioned, there have been 3 event artifact slots added to the game. And again, that brings us to a total of 20 now. And that concludes today's overview of the Halloween 2020 update. I hope you found this video helpful. As always, I'd like to give a special acknowledgement to Medivh for making the thumbnail for today's video. I'd like to thank the Discord users who helped contribute to this video. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge MrMoogle, aristai, and viewers like you. Thanks for supporting this channel. I'd like to give a shout out to my patrons as well today. Thanks to PC and Kittycore for your financial contributions to this channel. I appreciate your donations, and I'll include that in the description section below. Those of you who are interested in donating to this channel can find the link for my Patreon in the description below. And finally, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who take the time to make it this far into each of my videos. Your continued support is the reason I do this. So thanks for watching.